13 years in the Hollywood trenches. 13 years I've been here doing this. And I'm coming on here today because I was inspired by someone who inspired me to just lay it out. Just lay out the truth. We're in an era of fake shit. Fake social media, frickin' fake this, fake that, everything's okay. Everybody's perfect. Filters, let's put our best image on every day. All this stupid shit. That's why I'm coming on here, is it's the real me. It's not that all my highlights aren't great. It's just that that's not my real life. Because most of my real life is pain. Most of my real life is suffering. And some of it's self-created, some of it's not. I've been here for 13 years. Moved to Hollywood when I was 21. I made a lot of mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes. I haven't had an agent for 11 years. I had a lot of bad first experiences, so I fired them all. I haven't been able to trust since. That means that I've been making it go on my own, which I've been doing all right, but it's been difficult. I lived fast when I was younger, and I was a full-blown addict and alcoholic by the time I was 26. I got clean and sober, or I started working on myself when I was 28, but that wasn't before I blew up $1 million film that I worked really hard for several years with one of my friends to make. And because of my addiction, because of my attitude, and how unstable I was, I couldn't act anymore. So I passed on a role out of fear that millions of people, or I don't know about millions, hundreds of thousands of people would kill to have. And I had it at 28 after 7 years. It's a good amount of time to put in. I did the work and I destroyed it. $1.2 million project that I was supposed to act in. Pain. And that was bottom. I lost that. I was attacked and robbed in my own apartment in the Hollywood Hills because I was messing with the wrong people and I was treating people poorly, and I got attacked and robbed. I got all of my stuff stolen. I was basically homeless. Thankfully, a good friend took me in, and I started over. And I cleaned up my life. I've been sober now for 3 years. I've been working on my sobriety for 5 years. I had a relapse at 2.5 years, and that showed me that I have this condition, it showed me that of who I truly was, and that no matter what I do, if I'm not practicing working on myself, that's where I go back to. I go back to that drug, I go back to that drink, I go back to that depraved lifestyle. That's just a cancer on myself and everybody around me. So now here I am, I'm over 3 years sober. Gone through more adversity in the last summer. And this month that I can remember, I got into a pretty top acting class. I got kicked out on my first day because I lost my ability to connect with people through my attitudes and actions and my decisions. I've been going through the industry ringer of unacceptance, which is normal. That's just how it works. But instead of accepting that that's how it is, it's a process of rejection, how many times you can take it, I started blaming it with entitlement that I was past that. And I let that bring down my vibrational state, and it's led to some disastrous decisions. I was doing all right, and I recently lost a lot of money, almost all my money in cryptocurrency, gambling, basically. And I realized that was just my addictive tendencies, my risk-taking behavior coming out in other ways. And I learned that just because I'm sober, I'm off drugs and alcohol, doesn't mean I can't be selfish, entitled, dishonest alcoholic, addict. And so the pain is real. When this happened, when I lost not everything, short term I lost everything. I'm grateful for where I'm at. I have many long-term things still going. But when I lost short term, that was really the straw that broke the camel's back. And about 5 years worth of, or should I say, 13 years worth of pain came pouring out of my body. And I started drinking when I was 19, using when I was 22. And basically from that time, so I was drinking when I was 19, self-medicating, using when I was 23, 24, full-blown alcoholic addict by the time I was 26, basically in rehabilitation, working on myself by the time I was 28. And then I've been going through the numb, getting my feelings back, my ability to feel again for the last 5 years since I got sober. So from 19 until this month, at 34, I felt very little true emotion. And so while these feelings were pouring out of me, I just sat there. As just rivers of water just poured out of my eyes from deep within my being. Just for an hour. And I didn't pick up, and everything in me wanted to run to that drink, to that drug, to stop it. But there's nowhere to go. And I know that everything I'm looking for is on the other side of my pain. That's what I've learned recently. I was literally trapped. There's nowhere to go. I can't go back to that drink or that drug. I know where that leads. I've done it. It doesn't lead to anywhere good ever, under any circumstances. There's never a good time. There's never a good place. And it's never a good idea. No matter your status or situation in life, where you're at, financially, whatever, it's never a good idea. If you're someone with this disposition. And so I just sat there as the grief, as the pain, as all of my character defects. I felt them all at the same time. Resentfulness, fear, selfishness, self-centeredness, self-pity, worry, lack, comparing, jealousy, hopelessness. The list goes on and on, these lower vibrational emotions. And I felt them all at once. All at once. And I was just like, as I felt it, I was just like, and it was just coming out. I was doing this breathing exercise. like while this meditation while it was happening, because it was dry heaving, because it was coming from deep like spinal cord area where you carry a lot of it. I carry a lot of it in my lower back. I've had lower back pain since I was in my early 20s. That's where I carry it. It was just coming out, and I just sat there for an hour and it just poured out, clear as just stream, just rivers just pouring out. And I was just like, more, because we're gonna do this now. We're gonna do this right now. And so that's where I'm at. So basically here I am, 34, 13 years in the Hollywood trenches, 3 years sober, starting over. I gotta get a normal job this week. I gotta go back to doing valet or parking cars, something I've done for 10 years. I thought I was past and would have been past if I didn't make bad choices. And so here I am, and I still got big dreams. I want to star in a book I wrote, and it's a screenplay called Son of Neverland. And it's a $200 million studio project, and I got to get there. And it's only going to be through, if ever, through my character, through my traits, through the actions I take, through my personal growth. And it all starts today. And because it's all about, my life now is all about taking contrary action, because almost everything I want to do, I've learned doesn't serve me. Because I want to, not anymore, but my disposition, only because I've learned, I've created new habits that make me not want to do that. But I still struggle with it. But my disposition is wanting to be high and drunk all the time. Pretty much permanently if possible. And so, through work, I've learned how to correct that. And it can be a great asset when it's put into a creative avenue. When I can use that mind, that obsessive mind to create, it works great. If I use that, but it can also turn on me, it's also a conduit for self-destruction. I've destroyed more things I've made in my life. If I didn't have that, I'd be a lot further along in a lot of areas of my life if I didn't have this need to destroy them as soon as they get good or they get healthy. So, this is the real me. Just laying it out, and I want to see more of this. The people I've really respected are people that no matter where they're at, they're going on, they're just laying it out. So we stop comparing with this fake idea of how everything is, and we start using social media and ways to connect for good. And then we can actually help each other with our problems instead of creating these thirst traps that don't really exist, that just waste a lot of energy. So that's why I'm doing this. In fact, I've just basically, until recently, just locked off all social media. I've never really been too subject to it. I just don't engage. I'm like, it's not for me because I know what it is. But instead of staying on the sidelines while it continues to destroy lots of people, I was like, I might as well get involved because it's a big thing and try to add some positivity to it and use this tool, this neutral tool, for good. And so anyway, my name's Cal. That's where I'm at. I'm an actor and filmmaker in LA. And, I'm just taking it one day at a time. And I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to start documenting my journey. I put it off for a few years because I just thought I was too late to the game. It's not really my thing. I'm more of a traditional type. I mean, I moved here when we were still auditioning in the room, and, for the first 2 years I was still mailing headshots out. So I was like, that's what I do. I don't need to get into the social media stuff, but it's here, it's a thing. And, I want to make my mark by spreading some truth and love. And so if anyone, is struggling with this, reach out, say what's up, I mean, I won't lie, I had fun with it, it was fun to begin with. So, and I don't regret any of it because I had some of the best times in my life, but it was fun to begin with. And then within just a few years it was fun with problems, and then, you know, within another year it was just problems, and I didn't know what else there was in life. And so I'm big into this. It's been a hard road. Just getting this stuff out of my system has been a darkened path, one that's full of potholes everywhere. But you know, I want to be available to people. If you're going through this, you know, reach out, say what's up, and you know, start sharing it, because you can do it, but just know that it's going to get you. You know, you can have fun with it, and you know, I'm not actually even against it, because it allowed me to do a lot of things I needed to do that I was suppressed when I was younger. So it opened me up. You know, it was a way of getting out of self, being relieved of, you know, the bondage of being in your mind all the time. But you know, if we can begin to connect, we can break that down. So yeah, my name's Cal again, and you know, this is the real me. Let's you know, where we go from here, I don't know, but just putting it out there and just being honest, because you know, it's the only way I stay sober is with honesty. And you know, no more lies. I don't even need anyone to see this video or like this video. It doesn't matter. It's just the fact that it's there, you know. So anyway, let's get it. Peace.